the foregrounding of that our lives are inextricably linked to other lives, you know?
Yeah.
For so long, mental health was seen as this isolated experience about strength and weakness. We need to liberate it from that. And one of the experiences, for example, we talk about bullying and so on, school violence. It justifies an unequal social order outside of that school.
Right.
This is not an isolated attack where Kevin on this Thursday hit me at 3 p.m. This is being beaten up for your birthday. This is gang formations that exist outside, have a presence in schools. This is the threat of after-school violence and real violence to the body. It's not a theoretical thing. It's abuse that you're going to experience with very limited recourse. And what does that young person say is that survival and not living matters. What does that young person say? That there's a boss and a boss does have an order. And you need to acquiesce to that order because the order makes sense. And police, prisoners, all the prison workers, the national security, that is outside of the order. That is this absolute enemy, right? And it doesn't create a conversation on civic responsibility. What does trust mean for me? What are my expectations of the society and what is society expectations of me? And that moves us, that's tied specifically to mental health. When schools that violence is prevalent, PTSD is there. When you have a society and the detection rate, regrettably, and I know people work hard on this, could be under 20%. You know that means you have more victims and you have people getting justice. And that means what reparations exist for victims. These are the ways we need to understand. I know situations personally where people who have witnessed or observed a murder, a group of men come back and say, you know, if we wanted you dead, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And they're fully schizophrenic later on. They always see people are wrong because they're thinking a next person come to shoot them any other time. It have people who have bad nutrition, lose sleep, live in communities where there are wars, as they call it, and then draw guns on somebody 9 o'clock the next morning. Because then it's constant state of emergency in their mind. So we have almost created conflict masculinities. Where young men, as Elizabeth Solomon, who is now the Assistant Secretary General in CARICOM, says, not that we conflict societies, we're societies of non-peace. Where people internalize this war mentality and always on edge. Always one of the highest forms of death for young men. Death in vehicular accidents. People don't believe in the red light anymore. Very rich. And so the erosion of trust, the erosion of legitimacy of other institutions, but the mental health disorders that are exacerbated by violence is why all of society has to be involved with this. It exists. Real mental health disorders afflicting communities, working on their trauma, and what resources